Hey, welcome everybody to our spring edition of Feeding Value. I'm John Jeffrey. I'm over our beef development portfolio for BioZyme, and today's with me is my good friend Mark Freeman IV, who's a Superior rep, and we're just going to discuss some of the things that the program has brought to the table, not only for the producer from a standpoint of adding value to their herd from more gain, but also from a health perspective. So we have a lot of customers in common. We've worked together a lot through the years since we've started this program.
Yes.
Just talk about some of those customers and some of the things that you've seen in terms of the value that we've brought to their operations and how we've worked together to help those folks add more value.
Well, a lot of my customers that start cattle, for one, have got on it. They use the drench, they use the mineral, the stress tubs, and they said it's really changed their performance of their cattle and the doctoring. They've cut their doctoring way back. Their chronic pins went to nothing, and just the performance of the cattle has helped them.
So with today's climate, with drought to the west, commodity prices going higher, hay prices higher, how does that play into what we bring to the table with AmeriFerm and how we're able to help those animals take what we feed them, break it down, and utilize it better and be more efficient? You can even talk to that yourself just from your cows and what we've been able to do in your cow herd through the wintertime on cubes.
That's a good question. We're in a time where feed's at its all-time high, and a rancher's not programmed to break things down cost of gain. He does it by the head. That's just how we're taught, and it's wrong. But on my cow operation, you don't cut your mineral. You want to cut cost at this time, and mineral is not a cost that you cut because of your breed up. I winter my cows on less cake than I ever have the last 4 years. In my country, you feed 4 to 6 pounds a day, depending on what protein you're feeding. Of the cube, I'm doing it on 3 pounds a day, and weaning bigger calves.
That's right.
And it's due to the mineral I'm feeding.
So really, you and I have had this conversation several times. When things get like they are today, that's not the time to start cutting cost up front, because what do we do in our business every day? We're selling pounds.
Pounds.
Right?
Pounds is the name of the game.
Right. And we're not going to put diesel fuel in our gas pickup or gas in our diesel. Right. We want them to run as efficiently as possible and get the most miles per gallon that we can get.
That's right.
So our cow herd's no different. Same
They make our living.
They make our living. And we talk about this a lot too. We're cattlemen. We're in the cattle business, but truly we're grass farmers. We're trying to take that standing forage and extend it as far as we can and get the greatest utilization out of it that we can.
Right.
And so that's really what makes our program special. When you buy a bag of mineral from us, you're getting two things in the bag. Not only do you get a high-quality formulation of mineral, but you get AmeriFerm, which is our proprietary fed-through microbial that we ferment. And you and I have had that conversation, because when we started this, it took a while for you to start using it.
It did.
And,
because of the cost.
Because of the cost. And you stuck your toe in the water a little bit and did it, and then now here we are today where we're sitting.
Right. If you recall, I done part of the ranch with the mineral, part of the ranch with a different mineral. 2 days difference on weaning calves, and I had 28 pounds difference.
And that's typically what we would tell somebody the first year. They'd get additional 25 pounds of extra weaning weight. So
the cattle that was getting the VitaFerm was 28 pounds heavier. Well, you do that over 1,000 calves, and that adds up fast. That pays for your mineral.
Yeah, easily. Usually anytime we do the math to any type of research that we've done, which we've done a lot of research, we have over 160 peer-reviewed articles across multiple species of livestock, but it's a 3-to-1 return. So you and I, we're gamblers. If I could give you $1 and you gave me $3 back, I would trade as fast as I could with you every day.
Right.
Heck, I would give you $1 and you give me $1.25 back, I'd trade with you.
Right.
But AmeriFerm is the secret to what we really do. It enables that animal to take what you feed them, break it down, and utilize it better.
Utilize your dead forage. We grow the grass. As you said, we're grass farmers instead of a rancher. So you can't utilize that grass in the fall and in the winter. That cow can't utilize it. She can't break it down. But I've noticed since I've been feeding it, she can take that AmmoFerm in her body, she can break that grass down and utilize it. And the calf is doing it as well. I've sent you pictures after pictures. When I pull in a pasture, the calves are at the mineral box. I have not doctored a bad eye in 3 years. Across the fence from me, they'll doctor bad eyes. They're not feeding it. My flies and ticks, I have less flies and ticks than I've ever had.
Because in the summertime, you use the heat product. It has the heat technology and the garlic.
So, you know, I'm getting a 3, 4, and 1 package, basically, by feeding that mineral.
So I tell this story sometimes. My family, we used the products 3 or 4 years before I came to work, and I've been here for 7 years. And I mean, I can talk to it from not only being an employee, but also not being an employee and seeing what it brought to our operation. And we do a lot of embryo transfer and AI and those type of things. And that's an investment in and of itself. And you need your mineral to work as to the maximum for you to make sure you get as many eggs when you flush a cow to be able to then turn around and put those eggs in those recip cows. You want as many good follicles as you can get, and we can show from a metric, if you will, or measurement, which we're very big on measuring things here at BioZyme and looking at what we're doing and how we're impacting the industry. But it was a great impact in terms of those number of eggs and the cows that actually were ready to receive that egg when the embryo transfer. So we talked about mineral programs being of the utmost importance in an operation in terms of making vaccines work better. There's lots of research. But really what we're talking about is a value-added mineral program. So you may be on a mineral, but we're concerned about the nutritional base of it first and foremost. So when you talk about products that BioZyme makes from the cow herd perspective, our top 3 lines of mineral are from 2 to 2.5 times NRC, which is the National Research Council. Well, they're the ones responsible for across all livestock species to set the nutrient requirements for animals. Well, they only do that once every 15 years. They still use a 1,000-pound cow today as the model. So it's pretty easy to kind of look at what we do in terms of that when we talk about cow size. How big is the average size of your cows?
1,200.
At least. And they probably might be bigger than you think if you really put them on a scale.
Yeah, depending on what time of year it is.
Depending on what time of year it is, right. So if you're feeding one of our 4-ounce cow minerals, you can rest assured that if you have cows up to 1,500 pounds and they're eating 4 ounces, they're going to get all their needs met from a vitamin mineral perspective. But we're a value-added mineral, if you will, compared to most of our competition because of AmmoFerm, which makes us unique and different, and the value that we bring to the table from that perspective in terms of improved intake, digestibility, and absorption rate of nutrients. So is it important to be on a mineral program? Yes, but it's important to be on a very highly formulated, value-added program to get the full benefits and maximize your performance.
The key is AmmoFerm. AmmoFerm can only be purchased through BioZyme. Is that correct?
Right. We are the sole makers of AmmoFerm.
Any other mineral company can buy that from you and put in that mineral.
Or their tubs or dog food or anything.
But you're the only ones. And the AmmoFerm is the key to all these pounds we've talked about, the health, the grass, the performance of horses,
right,
the eggs laid by the chickens.
Exactly.
It all goes back to the AmmoFerm.
But keep in mind when we talk about the partnership that we have with Superior, they must be on our mineral with AmmoFerm. Correct. Just AmmoFerm being in something does not.
VitaFerm, Gain Smart.
Yes, those are the 2.
And to have the value-added program with Superior Livestock.
If you have AmmoFerm in your feed or you have AmmoFerm in a mineral somebody else is making for you, it doesn't count.
It does not count.
Yeah. It has to come from us, delivered all in the same bag.
Correct.
Right. So let's just talk about what does that badge mean when people see it now after this length of time of being having the program with Superior and working in a partnership. What does that mean, do you think, to people now as we've come forward 6 years? And then talk about when you go to talk to a customer about our products and how they can influence, because I truly believe you're more of a consultant than just the guy that's repping their cattle. You try to help them nutritionally, genetically. So what does that mean, and how do you make sure that they're doing it correctly to get that emblem on sale day?
Well, you're correct about being a consultant instead of just a rep. Because I'm fortunate, I get to go so many different places across the country, so many different ranches, feed yards, grow yards, wheat pasture. So I get to see the performance, what's good, what's not so good. So people have understood how much I get to see, so they ask me, hey, what's working, what's not. So that's how it starts the conversation with them. And I've noticed that people buy calves that's coming off the cow that's been on the VitaFerm product, that they're starting to realize that the health is going to be better when they receive them. I have people making comments about it to me. And I got customers using it, and they get interested in calves, and if they see the badge on the sale day, they want to try to buy those calves because it's their program and they know the health is going to go on. I think the feed yard guy, on all the yearlings that we sell, I think it's important to them. They know that Superior is not going to put the badge on there unless the cattle are really getting it. So it's important for a feed yard guy to have an animal that's been on a good mineral program. And it's a plus all the way around.
Well, so they actually pointed out that again just a few weeks ago at the Coastal Classic, that a good mineral program is very, very important.
It's important.
And we've heard that several times throughout the years at different venues at a Superior sale. The first one is the Bell Ringer 3 or 4 years ago. They had a panel and they talked about that. We know there's lots of very good research that shows that good mineral program and a good vaccine program go hand in hand, because that mineral program helps that vaccine work better.
Plus, you're going to cut a lot of vaccine if you got a good mineral program. Doctoring vaccine.
Yeah, re-vacking later on or antibiotic use. So the thing we got to think about from that perspective is we have a consumer that likes to hear that there's not a lot of that used. And so that helps us tell our story better is, yes, we've used it and with the welfare of the animal, but we haven't overused it because, and we know that if animals are drinking and eating, their own immune system has enough strength. If they do get sick and use an antibiotic, it's probably going to work the first time. Yeah, right. So back to your deal about the calves being in the mineral box. I get pictures from other people as well as you about that. And that was one thing that my dad noticed when we started using the mineral that he thought was such a huge benefit, because he'd never seen calves go to the mineral box. So to what you said, that's even a plus, because not only are they receiving the nutrients that are supplied through their mother, through their milk, and they're getting in that mineral box, that's just a plus when they start actually going to the creek feed.
Right.
Or being able to start grazing a little bit on their own, it's an advantage.
From my standpoint as a Superior rep, if you want the VitaFerm badge or the Gain Smart badge on your contract, you've got to feed that product 45 days prior to sale.
That's correct.
And delivery.
So let's talk about the value in terms of that performance, and on sale day, when we're talking, you typically been selling 500-pound calves. Now you're winning 5 1/4. Back to what your scenario on your first year. If we get additional 25 or 30 pounds and are able to maintain that in the herd and maybe even increase it if you stay on the program, when you sell those calves every year, how much more money is that? Let's go from 5 to 5 1/4.
Even if you go 15 pounds more on 1,000 calves, there's 15,000 pounds.
That's right. At $1, that's $15,000.
$15,000.
And that's probably going to be more than sufficient to pay for your mineral program. And hopefully you're on some type of mineral program before you even started with us.
Right.
So, you know, when we're kicking tires and talking about how many bags of mineral or 4-ounce mineral does a cow consume in a year, we usually use 2. Actually, it's not quite that much. But typically when you look at our products compared to products that are close to being even similar in terms of formulation, we're looking at $2 to $4 a bag more, so you're looking at $4 to $8 a cow more a year. So it's pretty easy to do the math and look at the value.
Yep. It all comes back to the pounds.
It all comes back to
the pounds is your value.
I mean, I feel like I've probably gained more business over a lunch with somebody using this pen and a napkin to scratch out the value of what we bring to the table. And there are several ways to skin the cat we can look at.
Well, it's not only the value in the pounds, but it's the value in the health. You're not going to doctor as many cattle.
And we hear a lot of folks that use our program in starter yards cutting their medicine bill by 30% on a pretty frequent basis. And we know how much it costs to use those antibiotics. So anything we can do to reduce medicine costs in and of itself is more value added to the bottom line of your operation.
Sometimes the antibiotic cost is our profit.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Exactly.
That's our profit. It's sad to be that way, but that's how it is.
Right.
So if we don't have that cost, now we got a profit plus that profit. That profit's a bonus.
Well, and to that point, we really didn't talk about AmmoFerm's benefit to gut health, but 70% of our immunity comes through our intestinal tract, whether
Correct.
it's you or our family dog or
anything.
our cows in the pasture. So when you can do that, that helps tremendously because AmmoFerm increases nitric oxide production, which affects the immune cells. Basically, those immune cells just work as an outrider for the cavalry to go out and say, hey, something's getting ready to happen. They report back to the system, let's get prepared. And so there's a lot of things that AmmoFerm brings to the table across the board. I think we're the most versatile feed additive that anybody could actually utilize through our supplemental products that's on the market today.
It's funny you brought up the dog.
Yeah.
You have products for dogs.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I had to buy some. I had a dog that got where he couldn't walk. He was dragging his back in, couldn't step off the sidewalk. And I went to feeding him that product, and he can jump up in a chair today or whatever he wants to do.
That's right. AmmoFerm is utilizing
And
some pet products.
he gets 2 treats a day, regardless. Sometimes 4.
That is important because we do have products across all livestock species. So Vitalize would be our horse products and our dog products. And you'd mentioned that all the champions that we've got that support our horse products. We talked about Emily Miller. We've got several others, Tyler Pearson, Bulldogger, Trey Yates, calf roper, Marcus Costa, calf roper, Haven Majid.
Yeah, Majid. Uh-huh.
I always get his last name kind of messed up.
True cowboy.
He's the real
He's true
He's
cowboy.
not just a calf roper, he's a cowboy.
Cowboy.
And of course, Emily Miller, I've known her since she was little, and she was really our first big ambassador, if you will, for our products. And I picked her for a reason. And all those people are great representatives for us across
Sure.
across the
It's proved
the
it.
equine industry.
It's proved it.
And people ask them what they feed their horses.
Mm-hmm. How many world champions did you just name right there?
Well,
Tyler.
Mark 2 for sure. And, well, 3. Tyler's a world champion too, so 3 world champions.
Mm-hmm.
Emily is going to be one. It just hasn't been quite
This is her
time.
year.
She's been
This is
close.
her year.
Let's hope it's her year. Yeah, she needs to win one. And then from the dog side, well, your neighbor, my friend, actually the lady that raised my dog, Pam Pruitt, she's on our Vitalized dog team now. And so when she's going to the shows and stuff, she's a representative for our products. She uses those products. I can't say enough, again, about AmmoFerm and what it brings to all different livestock species or family pets, companion animals.
You know, and I just thought of this. What about, don't you have it for human consumption as well?
So we do have another company that we purchased 4 years ago that makes a patented HA. That's correct. And so we did, in the last year, maybe a little longer, we have launched our first human product that uses AmmoFerm along with that HA for gut health. So yes.
We've actually got a woman that works for us, and she has taken it. She told me her knee trouble went away. She takes it every day.
So we actually make one just for joints, but of course they're formulated differently, but they're still using alum and the HA. HA is not only good for your joints, but it's also good for your stomach in terms of intestinal health. Along with AmmoFerm, it's a pretty amazing product.
Even the chickens, you got it for the chickens.
Yes, we have Backyard Boost. It all goes back to when we're talking about the cow and the calf. In fetal programming, the nutrients that goes to that fetus is important. Well, the same thing for that egg. So again, we're talking about a return on investment that may cost a little more up front, but the return at the end is highly magnified, and especially in today's economic with high prices of grain. Feed additives values are more highly magnified than when things are more of a constant.
But my whole point was BioZyme covers
Yes, we cover
from animal to human.
Yes, we do. And actually the company motto is care that comes full circle. So not only do we care about the animals, we care about our customers, we care about their livelihood. And So
it works.
It works.
It works.
Care that comes full circle.
It's been proven.
Well, we're just going to kind of bring it to a close today. Mark, thank you for not only being my friend, but being a supporter of our products, being a tremendous representative for Superior Livestock. We appreciate all you do for us each and every day when you're on the road. I don't know how many times. We talk at least once a day generally.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes we get a little busy, but we're in pretty close contact. So
We appreciate everything you all do for us, too.
you bet. It's been a good relationship.
Yes, it has. Just keep improving. We'll just keep
keep
improving.
improving?
We'll,
That's
we'll
right.
just keep improving the industry.
I feel like Walter Cronkite getting ready to sign off and putting my papers down for the night. So our world would be a better place if we had Walter Cronkite back, wouldn't it?
It would right now.
So, Mark, thanks again for being such a great supporter, a good friend. We appreciate everything you do for Superior. I appreciate everything you do for me. I mean, what more can I say? The relationship's been great the last 6 years. With a lot of the reps here at Superior, the program is going in the right direction and continues to grow.
More people's getting involved to see it, and it'll help the whole industry.
Yes, and we're continuing to do more research and develop new products, and so the future's bright at BioZyme.
Yeah.
So folks, hey, thanks for tuning in. We're going to have several of these coming your way this spring in our spring edition of Feeding Value. Thanks for being loyal customers. If you're not a customer, please look us up at BioZymeInc.com and find your representative in your area. You can find me as well, and please give us a call. We'd love to be of assistance to you in any way we can. Happy trails this spring.